You're going to have a doddering old man.
Do you definitely think that Biden's going to make it to the 2024 elections? Because I'm not convinced.
Well, who knows? Yeah, he might not, and so might not Trump.
Yeah.
So that's my big issue with him. I know you have others.
Well, my biggest issue is he lies a lot, and he's probably...
Well, certainly not more than Trump. I'll give you this point. Trump looks a lot and sounds a lot more hearty and robust and healthy. That's true.
That's the end of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're on E.
I mean...
Right? I mean, you might make it to town, but you might die on the side of the road. You're
There's
on
also blue zones where people live to 100.
They don't look like those guys.
Absolutely.
When you're like 70, whatever years old, 78 years old.
One is 77, one is 80.
Yeah, that's...
Okay. We're living in a world where perfect is not on the menu. These are the choices we're going to have. This is going to be who's running next time.
Ever seen two comedians duke it out over politics? Well, grab your popcorn, folks, because Bill Maher just served Joe Rogan a knuckle sandwich of truth bombs. And guess what? Trump's not laughing. In this video, we're diving into the juicy details of how Maher took Rogan to school on MAGA madness. From crowd sizes to invisible planes, we're breaking down the most hilarious and cringeworthy moments. Trust me, you won't believe what comes out of Trump's mouth next. This has always blown my mind a little bit. 91% that watch this show regularly haven't subscribed. Could I ask you for a favor small before we start? If you like this show, what we do here, and want to support us, the free simple way you can do just that is by hitting the subscribe button. Alright folks, let's dive into the wacky world of Trump's alternative facts. Remember when our orange friend claimed his inauguration crowd was bigger than Obama's? Well, Bill Maher's got news for you. It wasn't just a one-time whoopsie. Nope. It's a full-blown pattern of fibs that'd make Pinocchio jealous. Maher's not pulling any punches here. He's pointing out how Trump's been living in his own little bubble where he's always the biggest and best. But guess what? Bill's got a pin and he's ready to pop it faster than you can say "Kuvfuff."
And so he just goes along with all the woke nonsense because he doesn't want to fight that wing of his party. He can't afford to have a battle. Come on, man.
Well, listen, I think they both lie. I mean, I don't like that more than this guy.
So that's my big issue with him. I know you have others.
Well, my biggest issue is he lies a lot, and he's probably...
Well, certainly not more than Trump.
You just look at the Burisma situation.
Does, because they're running against each other.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of necessary.
It could.
So what's on the menu of Trump's tall tales? Well, buckle up, because it's a doozy. We've got invisible planes that would make Wonder Woman jealous. Then there's Frederick Douglass, who Trump seemed to think was still alive and kicking. I mean, come on, Donnie. Next thing you know, he'll be claiming he invented the hamburger. But wait, there's more. Maher's breaking down Trump's claims with the precision of a surgeon. If surgeons use jokes as scalpels, as the list of Trump's wild claims grows, so does the audience's disbelief. Is this real life or a very orange episode of the Twilight Zone? Now, here's where it gets spicy. Maher didn't just call Trump a fibber. Oh no, he went full throttle. He called him a dangerous guy who's crazy, stupid, and criminal. Ouch! That's gotta sting more than a bad spray tan.
You're going to have a doddering old man.
Do you definitely think that Biden's going to make it to the 2024 elections? Because I'm not convinced.
Well, who knows? Yeah, he might not, and so might not Trump.
Okay, he speaks much clearer. He might be crazy. He might be a sociopath.
He is crazy. He's crazy and stupid.
Say all those things.
No, they look better.
Yeah, they're thin and active and...
Well, Biden's thin.
That's true.
Trump is not. We're living in a world where perfect is not on the menu. These are the choices we're going to have. This is going to be who's running next time.
But hold on to your MAGA hats, because we're just getting started. Trump's got more issues than a magazine stand. His legal woes would make even Houdini sweat. I mean, when your lawyer needs a lawyer, you know you're in deep doo-doo. Well, folks, it looks like our favorite orange turd is in a bit of a pickle. Trump's gone from tweeting Kuvfuff to potentially tweeting from the big house. Let's dive into his legal mess, shall we? It's like he's trying to collect indictments faster than he loses golf balls. Now get this, Trump's facing 34 felony counts in New York alone. That's more felonies than he has hotels, folks. And that's just the appetizer in this buffet of legal troubles. Georgia's got beef with Trump too. Apparently he thought he could play Simon Says with election results. Spoiler alert, that's not how democracy works, Donnie Diapers. Remember when Trump asked Georgia's Secretary of State to find 11,000 11,000 votes. It's like he was ordering a Big Mac at the drive-thru. Yeah, I'll have 11,000 votes, extra fraud on the side, and can you supersize that election win? Sorry, Grumpy Trumpy, but democracy isn't a fast food menu. Bill Maher's take on all this is spicier than a jalapeno margarita.
Because I want to just, if you want to talk about Trump, we could talk about Trump. But if you just talk about Biden, I don't think comparing him to Trump does anybody any good.
I'll give you this point. Trump looks a lot and sounds a lot more hearty and robust and healthy. That's true. Absolutely.
When you're like 70, whatever years old, 78 years old.
One is 77, one is 80.
Yeah, that's... Okay. Well, one of the things that I don't like has nothing to do with any of his choices, is that he's mentally compromised. I think there's something wrong.
He's not pulling any punches, folks. Maher said Trump's not being charged because he's a liar, but because he's a criminal. Ouch, that's gotta sting more than a spray tan gone wrong. But wait, there's more. Joe Rogan tried to downplay Trump's legal issues, calling it a witch hunt. Really, Joe? If it's a witch hunt, then Trump's the witch who keeps leaving a trail of breadcrumbs right to his own gingerbread house of lies. Maher's not buying it. He pointed out that Trump's actions in Georgia, like trying to intimidate officials, show he's got a serious case of I don't know how democracy works, it is. It's like having a pilot who thinks clouds are made of cotton candy, or a surgeon who believes the heart is in the big toe. And here's the kicker. Maher reminded us that this guy once had access to nuclear codes. Let that sink in. A man who can't tell the difference between being president and being on a reality show had the power to start World War III. It's enough to make you want to build a bunker and stock up on canned goods.
If you want to talk about in terms of an election, but you talk about in terms of the guy who's in office right now, like, why don't I like him? That's the end of the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're on E.
I mean,
right? I mean, you might make it to town, but you might die on the side of the road. You're
There's
on
also blue zones where people live to 100.
They don't look like those guys. Like, he makes up words, he stumbles through things. It seems like he doesn't know where he is half the time. He's very, very old.
All right, folks, we've reached the end of this wild ride through Trump's fantasy land. Bill Maher really took Joe Rogan to school, didn't he? It's like watching a fact checker on steroids go up against a guy who thinks alternative facts are just misunderstood truths. Maher's not just throwing punches, he's throwing truth bombs that even Rogan can't dodge. He's showing us that in Trump's world, reality is whatever you want it to be. Big crowds? Sure. Invisible planes? Why not? It's like a toddler's imagination, but with nuclear codes. But here's the real kicker. Maher's reminding us that it's up to us to use our brains. We can't just swallow whatever baloney is served up, even if it comes with a side of MAGA fries. So next time you hear something that sounds crazier than Trump's hair in a windstorm, maybe take a second to fact check. Who knows, you might just save democracy, or at least your sanity.